Trader's Edge, it's Mark Sebastian, your only option. And this is your look at the week that was. Today, we're going to talk about what happened with the S&Ps, what happened with the Dow, the Qs. We'll look at a couple stocks, talk about the VIX, and obviously, we're going to talk about the bond market. So with that, let's dig in. All right, so kind of an interesting week for markets as a whole. Generally pretty much a down week. We had a nice kind of decent sized sell-off on Wednesday. Let me hide that. With a little bit of a return, a little bit of a pop back on Thursday, and then really Friday was disappointing. Market opened up really strong, got all the way up to 58.63, looked like it was ready to bust out, and then failed. It failed on the high that we closed at on the 18th, and pulled all the way down to almost threatening that 21-day moving average. Watch that 21-day moving average. We've not closed below the 21-day. Look how long it's been, guys. The last time we were below the 21-day was September 11th. So we're going on about 6 weeks. Wouldn't be surprised to see leading into the election next week if we did see a little selling. Maybe nothing crazy, but wouldn't surprise me. Qs, they were obviously in better shape than the rest of the market. They, still failed to break the highs from, earlier in the week, still holding well above. Why? NVIDIA is an unstoppable force. Closed the day up $1.13, and Apple managed to, while down on the week, did manage to hold above the 21-day. Watch if Apple gets a close below its 21-day moving average. It's done it very rarely, but has really not been able to sustain anything. But just keep an eye on Apple. It looks a little jittery. The Dow, completely different story. Got absolutely smoked. Why? Goldman Sachs. Look at this ugly candle. It was up on the day for the first part of the day, over 530. Closed the day 512.60. Just terrible. Touch the 21-day moving average. I didn't even see any news, but Goldman really pushed things lower. And that selling, which is weird, caused us to get a nice lift in VIX. VIX closed the week up on the week. The VIX term structure is still kind of flat as a pancake, with November pricing in that election. And last but not least, make sure you're watching the bond market. Bonds, which looked like they were ready to rally, got pasted. Keep an eye on $92 in TLT. We're starting to get to levels that when we break, bad things happen to the market. So tread very lightly here on this one. It's dangerous. I don't really like what I'm looking at all. In the bond market, it looks kind of sick, looks stuck. We break below the low from the 23rd, things could get nasty quickly. All right. So just real briefly, oil seems to have found an area where it can rally, had another nice day. Looks like it's going back to 75. Gold after a really strong week took a breather for the rest of the week. Silver, same story. I do like these higher, but I think they're taking a little breather. I'll look to re-enter if they get back below that 21-day moving average. So look for SLV below 29. Last but not least, I want to focus on China. China looks like it's getting ready to bust out again. I'm looking for FXI to go back over 35 potentially next week. We can see the market sell off and money roll into China. Speaking of the election, we have a major event coming up, obviously, a week from Tuesday. There is a trade that has worked every time I've looked at it, and I'm planning on executing it again. It's called a special situation. This special situation is around the election. I'm going to be looking to get into this trade for less than $200 and looking to make 100% on it. If you haven't had a chance to join, the link is in here. And if you're watching me on YouTube, like, subscribe, and if you got a question, leave a comment in the leave a comment or a question in the comments below. All right, folks, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I'm Mark Sebastian. I am your only option. Have a good one.